I want to ask another warm-up question to you, Candy. Now, as you said earlier, you have over 20 years, over 2 decades of experience, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, because of your experience within break. And I think we're in a position where we can feel comfortable enough to have a particular conversation of someone who's been in the scene for such a long time. Also, unlike us, you know what it's like to have a beautiful life grow inside you. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want to ask you a particular question, and before I ask this question, I want to lay out some context so that way we're all on the same page. All right. There's some clarity to it. All right. Now, most people know this about me. Most people know this. I know Rich know this about me, but I was once a dance fitness instructor. I was a Zumba instructor. I was the best Zumba instructor. I was the Phil Wizard of Zumba, to put it like that. Now, eventually I got fired from my job.
Been dancing bear parties.
Prior to that, though, I used to perform in front of a sea of people, 200, 300 people. And I noticed that I used to have pregnant women attend my classes. So my classes used to be lit. We used to turn up in our classes. And one day I approached one of the women and I go, listen, are you going to be okay for performing in this? And I remember that she told me that according to the doctor that she spoke to, as long as you were doing it prior, you can do it into your pregnancy. All right. So my question to you is, should Bgirl Mommies break after their second trimester? Second trimester. Now, before you answer, this question isn't a reach. This question isn't a reach. Before any of you guys try to jump on it, this is not a reach, because I know a B-girl who was pregnant at a major event several years ago. And I think she made it to about top 32. And the messed up part was I was actually a little disappointed, because while a lot of these breaking media platforms were highlighting fucking, 2 major breakers, you had a woman who was pregnant who was entering a battle. I thought that was one of the most beautiful things, one of the most highlighted things at that particular event. So my motivation behind this particular question isn't way out there. You know what I mean? This has happened. I can't really tell you how far along she was, but I knew she had a bump. She had a bump. She was wearing a big shirt, but she had a bump. All right. But you know what it's like to have a beautiful life grow inside you. You know what it's like to be 9 months pregnant. Should Bgirl Mommies break after their second trimester?
That is, it's a tough question to say yes or no to, because every single person is different. However, I have seen a particular B-girl dance well into her second trimester and make it to the final of a world-class battle. So, yeah, like one of the best in the world right now. And I was really surprised when I saw that. I was like, wow, but she killed it. And once she had,
did she have a little bump?
She had a little bump.
How far along? She was well into her second trimester?
I think she was about 7 months.
Don't say her name. Don't say her name. But
we're not saying her name, but yeah.
Name. I think I was judging last year when that happened.
Yeah.
And I think I voted for that person.
UK
in
champs?
the final.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, was it Red Bull? It was Red Bull, right? Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. That's wild.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, so she killed it. So Rox can vouch. And and I was really surprised. I was like, wow, I didn't think I could break that far. Me personally, the way I was built, no way. I literally went from being tiny, and then 6 months in, I just went whoosh, and I still did top rock, and sometimes I would hit the floor a little bit of footwork, but my doctor told me as soon as you feel like you're not ready to do that, stop. So, and I'm very much a listen to my body person. To tell you that I never was injured in breaking till this year, 22 years in, I listen to my body. So with pregnancy, I listen to my body. So that's to say one girl could, where I personally would have not. However, my next pregnancy, I feel like I would approach it differently, and I probably would break dance, keep doing fitness well into my second trimester, but I would take it easy and see what my body's saying again. So yeah, I think it just differs between who it is. However, I do think that B-girls need to, for lack of a better word, like chill, like, like be easier on themselves, because I do see people trying to do that sometimes, because they feel like everybody's going so hard now that that's something that they need to push.
Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Let me jump in real quick. Now, none of us here have a medical degree. None of us here are fucking doctors that I know of.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to be respectful. Now, do you think the possibility of losing a child due to breaking well into your second trimester should be a concern, whether it's what was it, stillbirth, a miscarriage, things of that nature?
I don't have a medical degree. I couldn't tell you. I do know that doctors tell you that if you were doing it before, you can do it during. I've seen women who are powerlift well into their 8 months.
8 months pregnant and pumping iron. 34-year-old personal trainer Yanya Milutinovic is expecting her second child next month, and she's squatting 315 pounds, spotted by her husband. But she's getting slammed online. Crazy woman. Yeah, you are crushing it, goes some of the comments. We spoke with OBGYN Dr. Jessica Shepard.
Is this kind of weightlifting safe for this pregnant mom?
Absolutely. This is safe looking at how much she used to do before. And this is someone who had weightlifted prior to pregnancy.
I've seen people, I think like Serena Williams was playing tennis deep into her pregnancy. Like there's so many people that do stuff that in the past probably would be like, whoa, like, but you are in general taking a risk while you're pregnant in anything you're doing. Your body's, it's a risk. However, it's less of a risk if it's something that you've always done. You wouldn't go and start trying to do something new that your body's not used to. But yeah, like I do think though that like you have to just listen to your body. Like don't see so and so do it and think you can do it because they did it. Like your body might be totally different.
Well, you know, breakers are very committed. They're very adamant. They're very determined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You get a lot of not just B-boys, but B-girls who, regardless of the conflict, they'll go right through it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like their goal is to win. They don't give a shit what's in front of them or what's in them. You know, they'll pursue that in order to get that W. Would you encourage young B-girls to break all the way into their second trimester?
I would encourage them to be smart and listen to their own bodies and talk to their doctors and follow their own path versus following someone else's path or competitively going for something like, and that's what I meant earlier by chill. It's not like, I'm not saying like chill, you guys need to stop doing this. What I mean by chill, it's like we are so competitive all in the way into our breaking career. I feel like pregnancy is a time to like not think from the competitive mind, but think more so from the what's best for me and this child. And if what's best for you is like you want to keep training, that makes you feel good and your body's fine and your doctor's telling you it's good, do you. But if you're like, I'm pushing myself because I don't want to fall off because there's so many B-girls who are getting really good right now.
9 months is a long time.
Yeah, like
9 months is a long time.
It is a long time. And that's why I'm saying like the mind will mess you up because as breakers, we're not trying to fall off.
Right.
And it's not fair either because the way the scene is, if you're gone for 9 months, once you come back, it's like you might as well have left for 3 years. Fact. So it's really hard for women mentally. So that's why I say like try and approach it differently because sometimes your mind will play tricks on you and it'll be like, yo, you're falling off, so you should go train when your body's saying I'm tired.
Okay.
You know, so that's what I mean. Like just like have that, be okay with this is part of your journey and you're going to have to like navigate that. And if you have to stop because your body's saying stop. But if you're good to go, like who am I to tell anybody what to do?
All right. Let me ask you another question. So I think all of us here are parents, right? We're all parents here. Yep. Okay. I got 3 kids. I got 3 daughters. Not a chance in hell. Okay. None of them break, so don't ask me. They're all bougie as hell.
So not bougie.
They are. They want their nails done. Yeah, right. They want their nails done, their hair did. You know, those are my girls. I love them, but they could care less about breaking. Let me ask you, as a B-girl mother, does having children hinder your progression as a breaker?
For me, 100%.
Okay.
And I'm sure other B-girls will be like, nah. But we're talking to me, right?
Yeah,
So-
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
So for me, yeah.
It does.
It does. Especially being a single mom.
Okay.
Especially living in New York. Generally, even when I wasn't a single mom, it was hard. It was really hard. One, you have to stop once you give birth. The recovery period for me was extremely long. I was not able to jump right back into breaking, which I thought I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I quickly learned that your body will tell you negative. So I just couldn't jump back in. I had to do a lot. I got into fitness for a while just to be able to feel like fit enough to break again. And it was really tough. It was really tough mentally and physically because I wanted so much to be where I was at right before pregnancy. And as bad as my brain wanted it, my body was not doing it. And then on top of that, the responsibility of having a child, you're not going to jams like you used to. You can't go every weekend. You're going to miss a good year or so of paying your dues.
Babysitter.
There's a sitter. People are like, bring them to the gym. Then you're not having fun at the gym because you're running after a kid the whole time. Doesn't matter if your partner's like, bring them, I'll take care of them. If you have a partner who breaks too, absolutely not. You're going to end up with the kid most of the time. So it was really hard. It actually changed the trajectory of my breaking a lot. I had to start, my perspective changed a lot, the way I looked at breaking, and I fell back a lot competitively because of it. However, others have not, so it's not everyone that's like that, but it did hinder me, and I'm not afraid to say that. But at the same time, no regrets.
Let me flip that question real quick. Now, Rich likes to clap at me, right? Because he always like, oh, well, you're not active. You don't fucking battle no more. I'm a man of a certain age, and I always say, well, I got 3 kids. And he looks at that as an excuse. So does Lex. For those of you guys who don't know Lex is our sports correspondent. He's not here today. But he claps at me on the regular. He always says, oh, you always use that as an excuse, Now, I know people in the breaking community who have multiple kids. Multiple kids. My question to you as a B-girl mother, does breaking hinder your progression as a parent? Does breaking hinder your progression as a parent? I know some gangsters out there. They say, fuck these kids. I'm all about breaking.
No. For me? Absolutely not.
For real.
But that's why my breaking suffered, because I put my parenting number one. My kid is first. These competitions, they don't happen regardless. My kid is first. However, now that he's older, I have the opportunities to be able to leave him with grandma and granddad. I'll take them. But it doesn't, when he was first born, no, I'm going to be a part of this kid's life. I'm going to be present. We're not going to go away for all these weekends and leave him. However, had I had the opportunity to bring him with me, I think I would have taken it. But I never was in the position to do that. I was never someone who they were like, I'll fly you out and your kid. Had that been a thing, I would have been like, hell yeah. But it just wasn't a thing for me. So it's different. And also, like you said, you're asking a mom and a B-girl, which is totally different than guys. I feel like guys will tell you that because men can actually they don't got to breastfeed. They don't, you can step away, or you can tell the mom come and the mom's going to be there and take care of the baby. I've seen our friend here do, which I think is so dope. Every time I see him bring his daughter to events, I'm like, that's so sick that you can bring your family and you can share this with them. I would have loved to have something like that. But at the same time, the dynamics would have totally been different because I am the mom and the kid generally tends to cling to the mom a little bit more. And
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's a different dynamic, but I do think that it's dope to see that because it tells me that our scene is changing a little bit in terms of the parenting thing too, and it's allowing for more of that to happen. Whereas when I first had a baby, I was not if I took my kids to a jam, it was really tough. It cost me money. I would lose out on pay, and it would be well, why am I going to judge something if what I'm getting paid, half of it goes to the the baby ticket and babysitter and all that stuff. It just doesn't make sense. So
I feel you. I feel you. Does anybody want to jump in on that
I was gonna
before I
say,
move
can I
over to
just-
Rocks? Right.
Before, yeah. I just wanted to jump in about as far as can having a kid impact your break-in, and then can your break-in impact you raising your kid, the parenting part. And on that second part of it, right, you breaking impacting your parenting is like, I learned so much from breaking. I learned as much from breaking that I learned in college, even more. You know what I mean? This breaking's so ingrained in my life. Like, breaking's taught me discipline and how to deal with situations and all these kind of things. So sometimes I feel, and I have a son who dances.
Rich, I think
right?
I know where you're going.
No. I'm saying
You're not going to tell me that breaking has helped you become a better parent.
No.
Are you really going to tell me that, homie?
I'm saying on the flip side, actually,
Okay.
I have issues sometimes because, like, at least in my own training, I'm very strict on myself when it comes to particular things.
Okay.
If I know if I'm training for a particular jam and I know I got X weeks and these are my weak points, these are my strong points, I need sets, blah, 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 I know that's how I would approach it. So things like, I'm going to stay up all night and eat Cheetos and blah, 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 like, a lot of B-boys are like, especially if you've been breaking for a long time, your body well, you know nutrition and things like this, and you know what's good for you and what's not good for you. And it's not a common thing that other parents, unless they're looking it up or really interested into it, we're very in tune with our bodies. So, if you have a kid who's like eating sugar all day, he has a crash, he's sleeping all day, all kinds of stuff.
Deny your children chips.
Right,
yeah,
right. You start
ice
getting
cream
a little extra
because
strict, and you be like, listen, he's
your
not a little
breaking
athlete.
comes
They're a
first.
little kid. You know what I mean? Like, they're not a little athlete. They're not a little dancer. They're not a little, even hip hop stuff. Even if you're like, yo, you should be tougher and just tell them, get out your face. They're still a kid. Like, you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, they haven't been breaking in hip hop for 20 years. You know what I mean? And all of that kind of stuff. They're just a kid that's developing in the regular world and dealing with regular situations. Okay. So sometimes you gotta like bring yourself back as a parent and be like, nah, okay, they're still normal. You know what I mean? Like, they're still.
You gotta let them be a kid, though.
You gotta let them be a kid. You gotta let them rock with like a lot.
You had your childhood.
Right. I have mine.
Let them have theirs, right?
Right.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Rich.